Facebook, how are you? I'm Dr. Walter M. Brown Jr. from Cradle Southeast. I'm representing the command, Cradle Southeast. Chaplain Marvin Whiting is our director, and I'm here with the deputy director, Kevin Stanley.
Always great to be with you, Dr. Brown. Always great.
Our crack team is in the back. We've got RP2 Warner and RP1 Robinson. They are providing us technical support. Now, during this time when people cannot get away, we want to give you opportunities to enhance your loving relationship.
Exactly.
Chapman says it like this. He says there are 5 love languages that people use when they are communicating. And now, let me tell you, after 45 years of the marriage wars, did I say marriage wars? Can I say that?
I don't know
if I can say it on that. Okay, 45 years of being happily married. That's better.
That's
all right. And we want to talk about the 5 love languages that people use when they are communicating with one another.
Exactly.
All right. You want to give any kind of intro before we go?
No, I thank you. Great intro, Dr. Brown. But just know that there are 5 love languages, and during this time of COVID-19, safer at home, orders by governors and mayors, it can get a little hard to show love, because when you're in a close confined space with people at times, sometimes love goes out the window, or tempers may come flare up, or just attitudes, because you're in a close confined space. But we're going to just talk to you about this time, how to make the best of this time together, and how to show love even in the midst of a coronavirus quarantine or self-isolation.
Now give me the whole slide. Give me the whole slide, because I want you to see what we're talking about. And we have them listed: receiving gifts, acts of service, words of affirmation, quality time, and physical touch. And again, this is not our information. This is Gary Chaplain. He is widely respected, very well known. And when we have our marriage enrichment retreats, we provide this, but we provide it in an interactive way. We're going to give you a snippet of what we're going to experience as we go through the love language examinations. Now, first of all, understanding the need for a clearer definition of love. People say they love a lot of things.
They do.
Like I love pizza, but I don't love pizza like I love Sister Brown.
Yeah, Sister Brown, absolutely.
And so love means to cherish, to adore, and to treasure. It is an affection. It is adoration. It is passion. It is devotion to that person. And the world needs more love and affection.
They do.
So we're going to talk about how to use that love and affection. All right. Now, we got this thing what we call a love tank. And when we see things, we ought to express things. We put this in our retreat, Kevin, because I was in a retreat, and I was telling a story about how I was riding with Sister Brown, and we were just going down the street. I was looking over at her. That's a pretty lady. She was beautiful. The sun hit her just right.
That's right, glistening.
Yeah, look at come glistening, because it came through the window, and I said, boy, she's beautiful. But I didn't say it. I felt it, but I didn't say it.
Just imagine if you had said those words to her. What do you think it would have done, Dr. Brown?
Well, this is R-rated. No, this is G-rated.
G-rated.
G-rated. I can't go into that. I can't go into that.
Families are watching.
Families are watching.
Children are watching.
Children are watching. But it would have been a better time, and sometimes we'll see things and we don't respond to things. Then the other side is we'll see them and we respond in the wrong way.
Yes.
That's why these love languages are important. So let's talk about them some more. Can you guess? First of all, I wonder how many spouses out there can guess their spouse's love language. What you think, Kevin? Do you know your wife's love language?
Well, you know, there was a time to where I really did know my wife's love language, but then it morphed over time. Ooh. So Right now, I know that quality time is probably one of my wife's favorite love languages, but she also delves into physical touch at times. So those are probably her two primary love languages right now. And so yes, and I try to make sure that I can touch and reach and make sure I respond appropriately to her love languages, because there are times I like gifts. I like gifts and just a little words. I don't need many words of affirmation, but gifts do a lot for me. So.
Now, can you put us back on the screen some because we want to talk about it, but we want you to see us too. All right. So and give me a little picture in picture. So let's start with words of affirmation. What do you think that means when he says words of affirmation?
That just can mean, Dr. Brown, to where you're just affirming that person. I know I'm using the word and the root word for the definition, but simply something that's like, oh, great job, or man, I really appreciate when you do this, or I'm thankful that you decided to cook dinner, I'm thankful that you took us on this trip, or just affirming that person for who they are, some of the things that they do, looking at the work that they do at home, the work that they do outside of the house, the work that they do in the military, just affirming some of those things that they do. And that builds a person up, that shows them that, you know what, I am somebody.
See, and it's important if your spouse, your mate, needs words of affirmation, it does something to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
It can be the simplest thing. For instance, you can catch your wife folding clothes. And you can come up on and see her folding clothes, and you can say, you about the best clothes folder in the 50 states and
the U.S. territory.
And the U.S. territory. It does something to people when they are affirmed in what they're doing. Now, quality time. Quality time is spending, let me see, how do I say it? It's spending time in a way that is beneficial to both. My wife would tell me, going to the movies with me is not quality time.
That's true.
Because I don't have your undivided attention.
That's great. Bad boys.
Yeah. I'm looking at the screen.
Absolutely.
So quality time. And it's something that has to be arranged and understood by the people who are experiencing it. It has to mean something to both people in order for the love language to work as it should work.
It does. And then also when I think about quality time, Dr. Brown, sometimes sacrifice comes in there, to where I remember when I wasn't really into ballroom dancing or something, my wife was like, hey, can you take this ballroom dancing class with me? And I was like, I'm not trying to ballroom dance. But it did something for my wife. That quality time, that little sacrifice, but I found out that it did something great for her. And then therefore I was more in tune, and I was looking forward to going after we started, and that really did something. So
because it meant something to her and you did it, that meant something to her as well. And you didn't act like it was a strain to do it.
No, you can't.
No, you can't do that, because you mess up the whole thing about quality time if you go into something and you act like you don't want to do it.
Absolutely.
Now, we got this thing on gift giving. If we weren't in social distancing, I'd give you a fist bump.
I know, but we got to
So I'm going to give you a virtual, okay, there we go. All right. My love language is gift giving and receiving. And for the gift giver out there, when you give a gift and gift giving is your love language, you don't just give a gift, you see the person's reaction when they are going to receive the gift.
Absolutely.
You don't just hand them something. When it's your love language, when you are purchasing a gift, in your mind is the thought that when they get this, they are going to behave in this manner.
In a certain manner.
And because mine is gift giving, mine is also gift receiving. How about you now? What?
I like receiving gifts. I like giving gifts as well too. I like giving things that make people happy. Sometimes it can be something as small as a chocolate chip cookie. I know that my boys like chocolate chip cookies from Winn-Dixie. It's something simple. It's just a chocolate chip cookie from Winn-Dixie, and I come home, my oldest son will be like, oh, you brought cookies. So that's just something, it does something to me, because I was able to show love to my son in a way through a chocolate chip cookie. But I love receiving gifts. I love giving gifts. And And I used to buy gift cards and things for people, but now I like to buy gifts that mean something to the person. I try to just look at things that I know that they're looking to, things that are interesting to them, and try to give them a gift that speaks to them.
All right. Now the next is act of service. Can you give me the full slide again? Because I want you to see them. You may not be able to see them when we shrink them down. But acts of service. What do you think that is? What does that translate?
I know from past family enrichment retreats, marriage enrichment retreats, something as simple as the person who doesn't normally do the dishes or normally do the laundry, and they decide to get up and do the laundry. Like, for instance, right now, I'm doing a lot of cooking at home. My classes and things are all virtual. Come from work, my wife is at home every day doing homeschool while I'm at work. So what I would do when I would get home is I would just start cooking dinner, and that's what I've been doing since Corona has hit us. I have just been cooking, and that act of service, I know that my wife appreciates that. She has stated that I appreciate you for cooking these last few days, because I know that she's tired.
Yes,
I know that she's doing homeschool for our youngest, so it's something simple to where doing those acts of service, doing those things that sometimes that you normally may not do, but you do them because you know that it's going to be beneficial to your family, beneficial to the relationship, and it just increases your love time.
And again, it has to be agreed upon that this is something that I enjoy. I can't just do it because I think I should do it. It has to be appreciated by the person with whom the act of service is granted.
Yes.
Now, the last one is physical touch. There was a song by Peaches and Herb back in the day. I don't know, y'all don't know anything about that, girl. Y'all got your own music. I see RP2 shaking her head back there.
Nah, she don't know.
No, she don't know about that. He says, she cheats on me, makes a fool out of me, spends all my money, and has the nerve to run out on me. But when he touches me, nothing else matters. When you got that, when physical touch is the thing, sometimes a touch alleviates a world of stress.
It does.
And watch this now, opens the door for a world of intimacy.
Yep.
Now, we just giving you a snippet.
Small piece.
A small piece. When we get you in the marriage enrichment retreat, imagine 12 couples understanding what their language is and going through exercises with other couples to see that some of the things we go through are shared in kind.
It is.
That's a wonderful time.
And also, when you think about these love languages, we have been speaking explicitly about marriage, but also think about this in a family context with your children, with your could be your mother, with your friends. I utilize the 5 love languages in every relationship that I have, whether it's with my children, my friends, my spouse, because you get the best bang for your buck when you know what your friends, when you know what the people that are close to you, what really speaks to them. So take that time. Physical touch, I played sports, I was a coach. The simple thing of placing your hand on somebody's shoulder can give them that reassurance, can be that calming thing that they need. A word of affirmation to someone who may be struggling on the pitcher's mound or struggling with school. Just, you know what, you can do this. You're the best. I know that you're a bright individual. Small things, a small amount of quality time. You may not be able to get that full amount of time that you would like, but coming home, sitting down, sitting next to your spouse, sitting next to your children, embracing in that time, watching just a 30-minute TV show together.
Amen.
What joy could that bring to the family, to the marriage?
Amen. This is something that we like to say in some of the training that we do. If you have a plan and don't put a plan into action, it's not a plan.
No.
So you have to put it into action, and one way to do it is to finish these statements as you encounter one another and you understand and explore the love language. I feel loved when. I feel more loved when. I feel most loved when. And do that together as a couple. And again, we talked about the love bank. Make sure we fill up our love banks. And you have received a cradle moment.
5 love languages, learning your love language. Make sure that you do fill up that tank, because you never know when you have to make a withdrawal. So always fill up that love bank, because there are times when withdrawals happen. and you want to make sure that you have a surplus, and you don't go into the negative and be overdrawn.
Amen.
Because when you're overdrawn, Dr. Brown, it can be problems.
It could be problems.
So make sure you always have a balance in that love bank.
Yes, Lord.
Thank you for your time, Facebook, and we look forward to interacting with you. This video will also be put on YouTube. Until next time.